Okay, g'day walkers. Hey there. Long time no video. Welcome to This Walking Life, the director's commentary, the content creator's commentary for the walk along the Koonung Creek Trail, which was bloody freezing. So before I start banging on about getting off topic, just set up this video. This was in 4K. This is the I'm trying to stick to the new intro where there's 35 to 40 seconds of 2-second clips showing you what's coming up in the video, and then there's the obligatory call to action asking for your subscription. The majority of my viewers for this channel are people who've never seen this channel before. Not getting many returning viewers still, so you'll have to excuse me while I'm enjoying a cup of tea. So just to set this up is that I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and we are a week and a half into our 4th stage 4 lockdowns. 5 reasons to leave the house. The new reason to leave the house is to get vaccinated, and I actually recorded a video to go and get vaccinated on the first morning of the new lockdown, the new 4th lockdown, and everything was going well until the nurse said, I'm not going to give you the vaccine today. That's a whole different story for another commentary. So the reason I chose this walk, I haven't been down along the Koonung Creek Trail for, it could be 4 years, it might be 3 years. I used to go for a walk here, but I walk there as well. It's about a 90 minutes? It's nearly a 2-hour return trip walk from my door, but I really enjoy it because it's it's an interesting place. It's actually behind a freeway that goes out through Melbourne's east. Donald Trump must have built the wall that fences off the creek from the freeway back in the day. But it's a really nice walk. It's evidence of what Melbourne's eastern suburbs most likely were like, before it was all built up and populated. Now, I've cheated here with the edit. The reason I cheated here is that there was a lady approaching me with a dog, and I deliberately went down at daybreak. I started this walk in the dark. The daylight broke as I was walking, which was my intention, because I want to make things interesting for the viewer, but also myself. And the other reason I still feel self-conscious walking around with the camera, especially like you can see at this time of day. Now this is actually quite late in the morning. It's only just gone daybreak. It's about maybe 7:30. Possibly still before 7:30. And imagine if you're a female of any age walking your dog along, this is a really secluded area, really secluded. Like you can see that there's no houses. I went down hoping that there wasn't going to be any cyclists or joggers or people walking their dogs. But imagine if in the current climate around the world, I can't imagine that too many women would like to be walking their dog along this trail at this time of morning, and coming the other way is some bloke with a mask and a woolen cap and a camera in his hand filming you as you're coming towards you. So the reason there was that quick edit that doesn't make any sense is because I deliberately cut that out, is because when I saw that woman I swerved to the left and I filmed the oval, which was laden with fog. It looked very nice, but look, to be honest, that's not why I was there filming. And if I had had a little bit more patience, I would have gone back and you know, just done a reshoot. But the other reason I didn't do that, and this will become evident in this particular walking video, is I'm really keen to film, and you know, to be fair to myself, I've followed this strategy all the way through, is that I don't like breaking up, you know, the footage. I've noticed with the more successful channels, it's always an unbroken shot from beginning to end. I pride myself on having having an unbroken video end to end, start to finish. But in this video, I've actually broken a lot of my own rules, and that was one of them, where there's just it's the first time I've had such a big nonsensical jump cut edit in a video, and there's a couple more coming up, and I'll flag those as we go. Now, I've got to apologise as well that this video, I don't think it's going to get many views, and the reason is because the camera is picking up every single breath I'm taking. I'm going at a slow pace. It probably sounds like I'm an old man with emphysema or that I'm unfit or whatever, but bear in mind that I'm wearing a mask. It's about 3 degrees Celsius, which is about 31 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a huge build-up of condensation in the mask at this stage. There's another jump cut edit because I'd stopped to catch my breath, but also to check the battery and change the battery of the camera. There's a few joggers went past, a couple of female jogging partners, and so I waited for things to clear, and so that I try to make that as seamless as possible. But as you can tell, it's not easily hidden sometimes, those jump cut edits. But I want to apologise or explain, there's nothing I can do about my breathing. The mic on the Sony Vlog ZV-1 is extremely sensitive. And also my state of mind was, and you can see the pace is slightly picking up here, that I have to, my nature is when I'm out walking around filming, like I like to get it done quickly. I like to cover ground quickly because I like to get as much footage as I can while I'm out doing it, making the most of the battery life and, you know, whatever I've got as a goal in mind for that particular shoot. But on this particular video, I kept telling myself to slow down, and you'll see, and I'll flag it when it comes up, is there's moments where I'm just charging along. The pace is just yeah, it's not a slow walk. But one of the reasons why I was hurrying was because this is the halfway point of the what I filmed this particular morning. And this is actually a segment video. It's not a master video. So to get back in the swing of things, this is the piece that I wanted to start off with, restart things with. But yeah, I was just a man on a mission, and I wanted to get it done. I don't ever feel uncomfortable wearing a mask outdoors. I wear one all the time, whether it's mandatory or not, because while things are so fluid, not just in Melbourne but around the world, and I'm on public transport all the time anyway, where you've got to wear one, it's mandatory, but I can't be bothered taking one on and off. But this particular morning was one of the first mornings where I've actually, it's been very uncomfortable wearing the mask. It fills up with condensation. There's condensation forming on your eyebrows and your forehead, with your breath being captured by the mask, and then just everything working at once. Well, that's just life. It's a first world problem for me, but it did affect the way I was filming. It affected my mindset that I wanted to get things done quickly. And the other thing, I haven't been, as I mentioned, I haven't been on this particular walk for some 3 or 4 years. And I usually walk the other way, and I deliberately walked in this direction because, to be honest, I couldn't remember how to get to the other direction. That I didn't want to be mucking around being lost while filming. And I'll show you up ahead that I actually did forget which fork in the road to take. So everything's going here quite normally. So now that I've got all that off my chest, I can tell you a little bit about this area. This is a really well used bike path and jogging path. In a couple of minutes there'll be a cyclist go past. This particular viaduct is Blackburn Road. That's my local main road. Blackburn is the suburb is to the right, about 3 to 4 kilometres away. To the left is the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, where it gets a little bit well, it's just as built up. It's just the houses are bigger and the properties are bigger. I enjoyed walking through here with the camera. It's just a nice dynamic, isn't it? Going from open outdoors parkland into this concrete tunnel, and then the scenery changes again. That's the other thing I like about this walk. The scenery along this trail. Its total length is about 15.5 kilometres, which is about 6 to 7.5 miles, I think. But it changes all the time, and you're walking through one bit and enjoying the atmosphere and the ambience, and then it changes again. And I really like this bit that we're just coming to, because all of a sudden you're walking along. It feels like you're walking along the side of a cliff, and you're not. It's just the way that man and his machines fashioned the cutting for when the freeway was extended. So that's just the east-west directions. There goes the cyclist. And you'll notice that I'm still very respectful of, I don't like filming people. That guy got up in the morning and he thought to himself, I'm getting on the bike and going out for a ride. It's going to be great. The weather's really crisp. But he didn't get on his bike thinking, oh, I can't wait to be filmed and without my permission and be on YouTube for forever and a day. So particularly you'll find on this particular walk that I've gone to some trouble to point the camera deliberately the opposite direction to people as they come towards me, and I've edited some people out. In fact, this video is very heavy with edits that I've even tried to edit out my sniffles, and I've left a couple in that I overlooked. So again, I'm going to apologise. There isn't a need to apologise, but I just feel that I have a certain standard that I like to try and achieve with each video. I'm not sure that this video gets the required standard, but I really like this walk. It's a great walk to do in summer. You can see the wall there. That behind that wall is an 8-lane freeway into Melbourne city centre and out to Melbourne's eastern suburbs, where I live. That's the area I live. But I really like this. It's just really nice to walk along, and I like the aspect of the pine trees and the overgrowth. Now, I've got nothing nice to say about Koonung Creek or any of Australia's river systems and creek systems, to be honest. I think Australia, I'm not a big fan of our rivers. They don't really compare to the Mississippi or the Thames or the Rhine. And Koonung Creek, it's not really its true self there. That development has pushed it almost underground, as you can see. And at the start of the video, I did film a bit of it. It looks worse for wear simply because it's just it's just not wanted as a feature of the landscape. It's get out of the way of our freeway is the attitude of our development, isn't it? I don't know what it's like in overseas areas, how they deal with creeks and river systems. In fact, there's a not far from my place, about 5 minutes walk away, is Blackburn Lake, and I have filmed a video there. And I'm not too sure that it's actually a natural lake. I'm thinking that it's created out of sheer necessity. And there's other creeks around the eastern suburbs which are diverted, and the course is altered with concrete, which reminds me that the Yarra River that runs through Melbourne used to be very meandering in nature, winding through the edge of the city. It used to flood a lot right up until the mid-70s was when they finally got the drainage system worked out for it. Anyway, but that's all off the point. The point of this is the video. Now, so the video, what I was trying to achieve with this walk is, and one of the reasons I got up so early to get down there, and I went down there on foot. Like I've walked this whole video on foot from my back door in a big loop back home again. And I was very keen to do my best to imitate the channels that have far more hundreds of thousands of subscribers and views than me. So this channel, I've been filming and publishing video content for where are we, June, Jesus Christ, 10 to 11 months. No, not 10 months. It's 8 to 9 months. And I only have 20 subscribers because someone dropped off this morning. And I still haven't achieved 100 views for any of my videos. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm enjoying it. And I've found some possible ways to monetize this content outside of the YouTube model. So we'll persist and we'll see what happens. Anyway, but I'll just quickly mention that I was keen, when we started our fourth lockdown the other week, I was keen to go out every single day and film videos again. But I must be honest, like when you're stuck in a 5 kilometre restricted area that you can't travel further than 5 k's from your home, well, I've already filmed. I've filmed every possible conceivable direction already back last year in October. Now, I'm going to interrupt myself because here is the next jump cut edit. And I was approaching this, and as I said, normally I come from the other direction, walking this way in the direction that this cyclist is going. And as I was approaching this point, I suddenly realised that I couldn't remember whether to go left or right. And so there's the jump cut. Now the reason there's a jump cut is because this is my 4th attempt. My 4th attempt to make it through this little particular area. Now the first time I came through, I went to the right and I got over the bridge, and I was so confused, and I thought, no, this doesn't feel right. So I went back to the starting point. I started again, and just as I got past the little path on the left, if you rewind, you'll see there's a path on the left. I'd barely taken 3 steps past it, and some guy appears behind me with a dog. And I thought he'll go right. He'll turn right. He'll go over the bridge, and he didn't. And the bloke and the dog followed me to about here, and I felt really self-conscious. I didn't like having someone behind me while I was filming. So I just stopped filming, turned around, and went back and pretended that I'd lost my way, which. And so then I went back again, and I made a false start, and finally on the 4th attempt, and then I changed the battery, and so here we are. Now the only problem was that the bloke with the dog kept walking, But the trouble was that I knew that I was walking faster than him. And the other problem was that the dog was off a leash and it was going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. So I was trying to walk slow along this way, but then I saw him. There he is behind the tree. And I was thinking to myself, all right, well, I just want this whole section to myself. I just want to walk straight through. And I was slowing up here and slowing up and slowing up. And I didn't want the guy to see me with the camera. And I had no reason to feel, like I was doing the wrong thing or anything. But anyway, these are the things that happen, aren't they? When you set your mind to something. And am I a control freak? Anyway, so I got to this point, and this was my this was my moment of decision as I went on a little bit further. And I saw there was two people and 2 dogs. I couldn't believe it. So I wanted to keep filming without stopping. And here comes the next big jump cut edit in the next 90. Oh, there it is there. What I did was I turned around and pretended to film behind me. And then I was waiting for them to walk further, and then I decided to keep going, and then I started walking really fast, because then I realised that the guy was chucking sticks into the bush, and I thought, oh, that's all right, no. Anyway, so here we are. You can see what's going on. That dog. And you can see the pace I'm walking at. You can tell the body language is starting to freeze up. I'm getting really tense. I'm not concentrating at all on filming. I just want to turn around and disappear, actually. And then that brown dog is just making a nuisance of itself. It was just awkward. Like, you're walking around with the camera. Plus, I was wearing my high-vis vest. I'm wearing the mask. The mask is full of, sweaty condensation. And it's about getting on to 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning. I haven't had breakfast, and I'm only halfway through. I've still got to walk back home, filming, of course, and now I'm starting to realise that I'm not altogether sure how to get home, because I haven't done this walk for so long. And usually I go along a predetermined route that I stick to, because I like my the regular route that I go on this walk. Anyway, so you can see how cold it is. There's the fog, the mist. Melbourne can get foggy, and it can get foggier than this. This is a pretty dull looking video, isn't it, really? It's nothing to do with the camera. It's nothing to do with the operator. It's just simply a foggy, misty start to the morning. And this is quite typical for Melbourne in late autumn, coming into winter. Last year wasn't so cold, and last year wasn't so awkward for me personally, because during our first lockdown, and even the second one that went for 112 days, I was so occupied and distracted with so many different tasks, mainly around family tasks, that the first couple of lockdowns went by. I hardly noticed them. So this year I'm noticing it, because I'm a little less occupied. I'm a little less under the pump. The adrenaline rush of living in a pandemic has died down a little for me personally, because let's face it, we all know now, mostly, the broad scope of what we're dealing with. This time last year we didn't have vaccines. Now we do. People are, but there is a psychological toll, isn't there, that's starting to play on everyone. I think not. I'm not speaking personally. I'm just talking generally. Anyway, so here we are in the bush, and I'm hoping. One of the other reasons I did this walk is I'm hoping that I make these videos for international audiences. And here comes, just as I'm starting to get into the commentary side of things, the reason why I'm doing it. another person appears, and again I'm feeling I'm feeling that it's not really fair for me to film him without his permission, even though we're in a public area. So I'm trying to respect people's privacy by not filming them and going to an effort to not film them. Anyway, so when I make these videos, the audience I imagine watching these is people outside of Australia. People who've never been here, people who know nothing about our scenery, people who may not even be, you might not even be a traveller. You might be somebody who's never been outside your own town or your own state or your own country. So here's a slice of Australia in the suburbs, and Melbourne, Victoria, my home state. We have a reputation of, we used to be called the Garden State, but I've got this really sick feeling in my gut the last few years. There is so much development going on, and there's so much rushed pushing through of development approvals, and I think it's the same in many other countries, that these green wedges of wildlife. I wouldn't call this area a sanctuary, but I would call it a reserve, for people to enjoy, nature. But development is pushing in on these places, and just by way of explanation, like the last 7 to 8 years in my immediate area, to the west and the east, and even within my own suburbs, suddenly we're seeing apartment towers, not just of 2 or 3 stories, like anything between 8 to 18, and some developments 30 to 35 in the suburb, only 2 train stops away. And if you I do think about it a little bit too much. I look to the skyline when I go out walking, just walking or going catching public transport. It's just starting to feel like we're getting hemmed in. Anyway, so we've actually reached the end of this walk, and I've barely started to wind up. So this was a 30-minute walk. This was just to get back in the swing of things. I've been away from the walking channel. I have been filming. I've got a lot of walking videos in the bank ready to edit and publish. I didn't film all that much, but I've got quite a bit ready to share with the audience. And now this is a horrible oversight on my part, this bit. Normally I would edit that out, and normally I would actually do the edit again, but it took 2 hours for this video to render through the edit software, and I just can't be bothered waiting another 2 hours. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to the viewers that you have to see that, and I'm sorry. It's not that I'm getting lazy or anything. It's just that I'm just a little bit impatient today that I wanted to get this up and going, because I put up an archived video today. I filmed that one on the 8th of October, which was week 2 or 3 of when I started this channel, and I was a bit shocked at how shoddy the edit was for that video. So it went up this morning at 5:30 in the morning, and as soon as I saw that, I took it straight down again a couple of hours ago. So this video is now uploading very slowly. It'll go live at about 4 o'clock Monday the 7th of June Australian time, and this commentary of course is coming on a Saturday morning. So I want to thank everyone who's still watching the videos on this channel. Stick with it, especially while I'm still bedding down the shooting technique with the new Sony vlog camera, because it's a total, it's just different feel in the hand to my other one. So I'm trying to improve very quickly. I've successfully edited my new web series. It's called Project Waterman. It's on the YouTube channel Calumny Films TV. It's 17 times 10-minute episodes. That's what I've been working on. That's why I haven't been doing any walking videos for the last 2 to 3 months. I'm the bloke who walks. This is This Walking Life. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.